And we're live. Working out the kinks. Hi, I am Dennis, or the okayest DM on YouTube, and tonight I'm running tech for this well-oiled machine. Oh, yes, I am playing Archie, the old, half-paralyzed face halfling. Oh, hang on. They can only hear me, and I don't know why. I should.
And the video's now all wonky.
All right.
Oh no.
Abby's
I'm failing miserably.
No. It's just because Abby went in and out, so it should fix itself here. Yeah. Yes. Can you? Are you good, Abby? Yes. I don't. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how to help you there, Abby. Any better on the sound? Okay, looks like they can. Okay.
Ah, okay.
All right, looks like we're good. All right, so I'll take it back, and we'll start again. I am your humble. We'll get this right. I am your humble hostess, Mistress Winter. Thank you all for joining us for our 5th session of the Facite Stories from Parasande. And this is my birthday episode. I've survived yet another trip around the sun, and in that time, I've made some incredible friends, including our wonderful players. So I would like you all to please introduce yourselves with your name, who you are playing, and where our viewers might find you on the Cyber Realms. And yeah, Abby, are you still having issues, or are you good?
I think it's working.
Okay. Go ahead then. Except you are sideways.
Of course. Hang on. Technical difficulties. I will eventually get a proper setup once I live somewhere permanently. I promise.
Don't worry. Yeah.
I'm Abby Marie Carter, and I play Aheerah. You can find me on Instagram at Abby_Marie_Carter, and thank you for bearing with me and all of my technical issues.
All right, thank you. And then Dennis, I think you gave yours. You are playing Archie. You are the okayest DM on YouTube and Twitter, and are running our fabulous tech. So
Or
thank
at least
you.
trying to.
I really appreciate you. I do. All right, and then Finn.
Hey, I'm Joey. I'm playing Delphinium, or Finn, the investigator, and you can find me at Prince Perry Pastille. On Twitter and TikTok, I don't post.
No worries. Social media is not for everybody. And then Corey.
Yeah, hi, I'm Corey. I'm playing Zara tonight. You can find me on Twitter, lovedays_, that's LOV. And also I'm usually over at the initiative order. So, yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. And we normally have Jo, but she was not able to make it tonight. She plays Sarana, and we will think of a decent reason why she is not traveling with the party today. So, in the meantime, I appreciate my entire cast, and again, thank you, Dennis, for taking over tech. Again, it frees up my mental processes to be able to take notes and to give both a better story for you and our wonderful audience. So let's waste no more time to reclaim our Mondays and get into tonight's episode of The Facite. And welcome back. Last time on the Facite, our intrepid group had gone through a couple of weeks of working their day jobs, providing help and care and guidance to the community, of performing labors or assisting other delvers with various tasks. Through all of it, they began to learn more about each other and about themselves as secrets began to reveal themselves, primarily through vision and higher powers calling on their followers' aid. Now it is up to the party to decide what to do with that information. Will they pursue the lead that they have on Aheerah's Meme and track down the last place that she was known to be in the den of the lightspinners? Will they seek out new contracts with the mysterious Sir Frost's agent Simon? Let's find out. So over the evening, many of you had vision. Visions imparted by those aforementioned higher powers. And it left you all wondering your place in the grand scheme of things. What are the avatars trying to tell you? Where are they trying to lead you? And what are you going to do with that information? What little information that you've gotten. So you awake after that long night of restless sleep. And you meet around the hearth in the bunkhouse and discuss your way forward. Serana, feeling torn about having to return home, being called back by her patron, and remaining here to seek the answers that she traveled a long way to find. She decides that she's going to take a day, or 3, to really search for those answers, and does so in seclusion. So it is up to the 4 of you where you want to go, what you want to do, what leads do you want to pursue.
Where are we right now?
I think the bunkhouse would be a good gathering place, or you could head over to any one of the chow halls to get some breakfast and make plans for what you're going to pursue. You can also head down to the Delver's Nest and to its mead hall to similarly make your plans.
I think before we do anything, I'll go ahead and turn to the rest of the party. I think before we make any hasty decisions, let's get some breakfast or something. It's not good to make tough decisions on an empty stomach.
I can get behind that. It's still free for us at the Delver's Nest, right?
Yep. Yeah. I don't know if that was a question to the GM, but but yes, the answer is yes.
Free food.
What was that, Aheerah?
Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I'll agree. Let's head down to the Devil's Nest.
So you all gather and head out to the edge of the Facite, this massive glacial fissure that you've been living in for the last few weeks, more or less. And step onto the platform, which cranks low into the crevasse until you reach one of the periphery platforms, and then head on into the mead hall in the center of the Delver's Nest, which sits suspended by giant chains in the openness of this fissure.
As he's walking across the bridge towards the giant suspended structure, Archie's going to sort of shout back to the rest of the party, "This never gets any easier. I hate this bridge."
Don't look down, you'll be fine.
I've been doing nothing but look down.
Even as you are saying that, the bridge kind of sways a little bit under you as a strong gust rushes through the facet. Groans in its holds, but still sturdy and is well cared for.
A hand.
Yes, please.
Okay, here.
I really don't mind it.
How? That doesn't make any sense to me. As Archie's just almost breaking Finn's fingers. The grip.
I suppose I don't really know to be afraid, so to speak.
The architecture is sound.
After a few meters, you step onto the main platform. There's a row of doors from where you step onto the main platform. And as you head down the side of the platform and pass by these doors, the doors occasionally open and you see inside them, in one corner of the building, it looks to be a doctor's office. There's you see glimpses of medical equipment and potion bottles lining the walls in there. There's a curtained off area just at a glance. The next room seems to be the money changers or the treasurers, as two individuals are trading coin with some of the delvers who come in and sit behind desks with bars in front of them. The next door is actually slotted, and it looks to be the mail room. There's packages and scrolls and letters littering the walls and tables and shelves in there. And then you pass by the privy at the very corner of the structure before turning and heading into the main hall at the center of the structure. The smell of fresh meat and breads and ale just kind of washes over you as you push through the double doors and head into the hall. A well-contained fire sits in between a circle of long tables where various people sit and enjoy a meal before going back to work.
Well, I would say breakfast is on me, but it's free food, so... And Archie will go up to the buffet or whatever counter they have and take some orders.
It is mostly kind of buffet style. You get to take essentially whatever's available within reason. You've witnessed on one rare occasion where a guy was just kind of like stockpiling stuff, and the little gipty woman who's kind of refilling things gave him a good whack with a wooden spoon. You got to leave things for others. And sent him on his way with a quarter of what he had piled up.
So it's not all you can eat, okay. Good to know.
Well, it depends. Do you think she can see through, like, illusions or disguises? Could come back as multiple people.
Wonder if she has her ways. Seems like she's been here a while.
I'll get my food and find us an empty table.
Okay.
Aheerah will do the same and pretty quickly follow after Archie, and she's gonna sit kind of right next to Archie, a little too close. Just happy to be there.
The individual tables are taken up by onesies and twosies people, but there's plenty of spaces along the long bench, allowing for you all to saddle up onto the bench and enjoy your meal.
So, now what? I feel like
That's
delving again, but we don't have a job yet.
We could wait for a job, or I don't know.
I think Simon
really
said
know.
he'd be back in like a week, 2 weeks.
That sounds right.
We could wait for Sam. But then what do we do in the meantime?
Eat?
Wait, shouldn't he be back soon? If he was... Because we saw him a few weeks ago, and then he left. And we've just been here waiting, haven't we?
Yeah, you're right. I said he would be gone a week or 2 weeks about a week and a half ago, so he should be back any day.
Let's go check in.
It's like office hours are noon to 4. We could maybe hang around.
In plan B, maybe we see if anybody else has some other jobs of some kind.
Maybe somebody has a job in the Dugout West. That's where my Maymay was last seen. So it would get really 2 birds with 1 stone, or whatever that saying is, if there was a job that we could do over there.
Idea.
I like it.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So you gonna wait until what, noon, to see if Simon shows up, and then okay. Okay. You for several hours. Teams of delvers come and go. Some excitedly boasting about their particular finds, and others quietly grumbling to each other about their misfortunes, hitting yet another dead end. Eventually, the doors push open, and in walks the well-dressed Simon at the flick of a coin, which they catch. And they spot you. Ah, just who I wanted to see.
We've been waiting for you.
just like good little pets. So, what's new? What's new? And did you have a good couple of weeks?
Can't
Most of us.
complain.
Most of you. Did somebody have an accident, or is there any issues that maybe Sir Frost needs to know about?
No, just working through inconsequential personal stuff. I made a name for myself. He might like to know that.
As long as you don't draw too much attention to yourselves. I mean, you don't want everyone trying to steal your jobs. But it sounds like it was rather pleasant. And I hope there's no issues that need to be resolved before we can make yet another deal. Sir Frost will not take kindly to having personal interests getting in the way of his interests.
How
I
does
don't-
he feel if... Sorry?
No, I don't think that we'll have any interest, but Aheerah has a question.
Well, I was just thinking, like, how would he feel if there was somebody's personal interest that they could all pursue while also pursuing a contract that we were given, and so you could do both?
If Sir Frost deigns to bestow a job upon you, I would hope that you would put your full attention and effort into it rather than doing extracurriculars. Because if you were to
Well, yes,
fumble,
but say, like,
go on.
well, I was just thinking that if we had some type of contract in a certain place and somebody was looking for something or someone else or clues for that person in that certain place as well, wouldn't it be okay if they were also looking for their personal things, especially if we focused on the job first and got that done and then just, oh, we're done with that. Let's spend a little bit of extra time, like an hour or something, because it's the right area and we've completed those things.
I would say, I more repeat that any contract or job that Sir Frost gives you should be given your full attention, as you may have a harder time completing it to satisfaction if you were to be distracted by side quests. That being said, Sir Frost does not have a contract for you yet. However, before you become rankled, we have a lead on a particular location that concerns the music box that you found last time, and we'll need some time to excavate it so that we may send you all in to secure the site. We have other teams working on that excavation and digging it out. But as I said, it will take some time. So, if you have any personal matters or wish to take any other contracts in the meantime, please do, but make sure that you are ready when Sir Frost calls upon you. He appreciates punctuality.
Then he shall have it. We will get all of our personal issues sorted away in preparation for our securing of the next site.
Fun. I do appreciate your integrity in this matter. And know that Sir Frost appreciates it as well. That friend of yours, Reds, he's a willful one.
He's been thawed?
He has. And is a very chatty one. Chatty to the extent that one can be after spending millennia encased in ice. I imagine that he'll still need time to recover and regain his strength, as you well know, Archie. But he's already progressing. So I don't expect any more than maybe a month before you're able to have a coherent conversation with him.
Well, I, for one, am interested to talk to him just because of the heritage we share. We certainly have a destination in mind for our next venture, and I don't think it should take too long. We will be back in time for Sir Frost's next assignment.
Wonderful. As per usual, I will keep office hours. And you know where to find me. If
Absolutely.
you should need anything when I'm not around, if, for instance, I'm called away, do leave a note with the postmaster. I tend to check my mail regularly.
Will do. Excellent working with you, sir.
And you as well. And good luck on your ventures. And do come back alive. We appreciate living contractors.
I'll clear my plate, and I don't know what we do with dishes in here, but get ready to leave.
There's a big wash bin in the back that everybody scrapes their food off and then does a quick scrub on the plates, sets them aside. There's a level of personal responsibility that all the Delvers seem to just accept. So.
Cool.
Does Simon get up and leave, or is he still sitting at like the table where we were?
He will. He's never really sat down. They never really sat down. So they will continue their patrol around the room before heading out the exit, and just standing at the edge of the Delver's Nest, gazing out into the icy depths.
Once they walk away, I'm gonna lean over to Zara and just be like, I don't really like him. He's kind of mean.
They're interesting character. I don't know how I feel about them yet.
I do.
And then I'll get up and. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll turn just like
Uh,
to Archie.
Simon really stresses me out having to talk to him. He is such a commanding presence in the room and in conversation. He speaks so slowly, and I just feel, even though he's talking slowly, I feel like I can't get a word in edgewise. It's weird and intimidating.
I can try talking to them next time if you want me to.
I could also try, but as we've learned, they don't really like it. So, like I said, I don't think I really like Simon, but that's okay.
As long as I know what not to say.
I think we'll play it by ear. I just don't want to be the next one to...
We can draw straws next time.
Deal.
I'll shake on it.
Archie also shakes.
I'm happy to do the talking. I just, again, they don't really like it when I do. But if y'all don't care, then I could do it. I'm
Like I
pretty good
said.
at talking.
We can draw straws.
We'll decide the next time.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've let, I appreciate you, Archie. You've led the way, and you're doing great. But we should also talk.
Out of question for the GM, when they were like going around the room, did they actually stop with anybody else, or did they just go around?
Good question. What's your perception modifier?
Oh god, where's my character sheet? +5.
Okay. They paused only. It seemed that they leaned in and took a whiff of like some of the food that was sitting on the table. But that was about it.
Okay. Just trying to put them together in my mind. Well,
I also have a question for the GM real quick. Is Kimberly around at all?
Yeah. In fact, while you've been talking to Simon, she had brought in her little crate and is situating it in the corner and opens up a book that she's like kind of rehearsing to herself a little bit.
I'm going to take a glance around the room once we're done with our dishes and kind of just chatting about this. Once that conversation finishes, I'm gonna glance around the room. When I see her, I'm gonna lean into everyone else and go, I have to go ask Kimberly a question, and then just get up and rush over to her.
Okay.
Hi, Kimberly, it's me. I have a question for you.
Yes, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. So I was wondering, because you talk with your whichever patron avatar you pray to her, you said?
Sonnet. Yes.
Sonnet. I'm sorry, I'm not good with the avatars yet.
We don't talk directly, really. We talk through song and poem, and sometimes when I'm rehearsing, the words just kind of jump off the page at me.
But you pray to her, so to speak?
Not directly, not like a cleric or or a holy person would. Instead, I I work I show my worship to her through my performances.
Mm.
Why?
I was just trying to see if there was any way to pray to. I'm gonna get the pronunciation wrong. Mira,
Mira?
the Avatar of Dreams. Mira. I was just
It's
wondering if there
like
was any way
it's like mirror, but
to. Okay. To pray to Mira because I could use some guidance from her specifically, and I thought that because you had a connection with one of the daughters, that you might know something about connecting with the avatars.
Oh. Well, my connection with Sana is from years of devotion and uh, worship, as is probably many others, and that's why our connection is so strong. Establishing such a connection is going to be a trickle at first. It starts with you're familiar with sewing. It starts with a single thread. And that single thread won't give you a lot of leverage. But the more that you sew and add threads, the stronger that becomes, and the more information and the prettier the picture you get.
Mira brought me to life. So, arguably, I already have a connection with her. I just didn't know it before now
Oh,
because I was never told. Right?
that's some bit, yeah. Well,
Not that I think I wouldn't have to work at it or anything,
hmm,
but I think that there might already be some establishment there because um, she gave me life, I think.
that is a possibility. Here's what I would say. Mira is the avatar of dreams. Perhaps you can find a meditation or train in some lucid dreaming techniques. For often, Mira does like to walk the garden of dreams in her realm. And that's where you go when you dream. Further, the moon is one of her channels. And mirrors. So perhaps you might be able to find a a ritual venerating her as an avatar to call forth some of her attention. Who knows what you may glean? Just don't expect that she's going to upend her busy schedule just to come talk to you.
Of course, I don't expect her to. I can't imagine there's too many people she gave life to. So,
I don't think so either.
well, it's worth a shot, and I appreciate you answering my questions always. I gotta get back to my friends, but I'll talk to you later, okay? Good luck with
Yes, please.
whatever you're working on. And then I'll run back to the group, and as soon as I go back to them, I'll just go, "What's lucid dreaming?"
Finn, you want to take this one?
I think I remember a little bit about that. When you go into REM sleep, you dream, and then sometimes you're dreaming, and you can use that to kind of affect the dream.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
I have a question for Aheerah.
Yes.
Does she dream?
I was just thinking about that, and truthfully, I don't think she does. I was just thinking about. I don't think she does. I think it's she sleeps. She needs to sleep, but it's different. I don't think she dreams. She needs sustenance, but definitely not like as much. And she can't really taste or anything. It's all just kind of like there's a barrier between it, so she can never find enjoyment out of that sort of thing. So I think it's the same thing with dreams. I don't. Maybe sometimes there's almost something there, but I don't think she dreams.
Mm. And that is going to be very difficult for Aheerah.
Yep.
Aheerah, I overheard a little bit. Kimberly was mentioning something about story threads or something like that. What'd she say?
So I was asking her if there was a way to pray to Mira because I need her help, I feel like, because she sent my May away and maybe she could help. And also, I think she gave me life. So it'd be nice to talk with her and get some answers. But specifically, Kimberly was talking about the connection that she has with Sonette, and she was talking about how threads, I think she meant stitches actually, but she was talking about how you have to build it up, the connection with the avatars, and how it's like sewing because you have to build up the threads. So I think she meant stitches, like lots of stitches, but that's okay. I know how to sew. She doesn't. Yeah, that's what she was talking about. And she told me I'll have to build up my connection with Mira, and it would take a while, but also Mira gave me life, I think. So maybe I don't have to build up that connection. But she said that lucid dreaming might be a way to contact Mira, and I don't really think that's possible for me.
Why not?
I don't dream.
That's a problem.
You might need a workaround then.
Question for the GM.
Yes.
Since my academia specialty was occultism,
Mm-hmm.
can I like roll
Roll.
what I think?
What are you looking for?
What I think when Aheerah's talking about this, what I think. To try to rack my brain for anything.
In kind of what kind of answer are you looking for? Like, are you looking for like a ritual that she could do? Are you? Yeah, I'm not sure. But...
Probably more basic, like connections with the avatars.
Sure. Yeah, either occult or religion.
I think those are the same. Yeah. 27?
27. Oh.
19 plus 8?
Just casually.
So for the rare individual, usually, after years of devotion and service to an avatar, the rare individual does have essentially a direct link to an avatar, kind of like making a phone call and getting in touch directly. There are even fewer and rarer individuals whom the avatars have deemed as important individuals that they communicate regularly with, i.e., Archie. That, though you may not know about that, I don't know. That's just more of a meta thing. Um, more often, avatars are going to communicate with their followers through imagery, symbolism, indirect means, and essentially hope that the mortal kind of decrypts the message. Or they speak through intermediaries, celestial, fiendish, demonic beings that act as servants or messengers, that kind of thing. And there are a slew of rituals that allow for contacting these messengers who can play go between.
Oh, Aheerah, since you can't dream, these things take years and years, to my understanding. Maybe we can find a book. Unless you receive an omen, but I am not one who speaks or handles avatars in my work.
Well, Mira has a connection with the moon and mirrors, apparently. Kimberly told me. I didn't know that. I don't really. This avatar thing is new to me. So
Mirrors,
maybe
you
there's
say?
something there. Yes.
Ever heard of a
Mirrors.
scrying mirror?
No.
I don't know how they work, but apparently that goes on an altar. Something like that.
Oh. Okay.
Places of worship. Gosh, I don't know this town.
Could build an altar, or maybe somebody already has an altar to Mira that I could use. I don't know where. Do people worship
I assume so.
Just as general knowledge, yes. There are people who worship and follow Mira as a primary object of worship. There aren't any temples to Mira within the locality. And finding something may take a little bit of searching.
Should I ask around if anyone worships Mira?
I mean, maybe if they seem friendly enough. I don't know if we should necessarily go be like, oh, who do you worship? You know, that's a little.
Do you worship Mira?
My understanding is that's a little. I did it once. It didn't
We're
go
not
over
supposed
well.
to do that.
It didn't go over well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's good for me to know, because I was just gonna ask people.
Mm-hmm.
They usually don't. They don't seem to really like it when I just walk up to them and start talking to them and asking them questions, but I don't know why. It's okay. So,
Well, I had an idea. I mean, you can't dream, right? But we
correct.
can.
Yeah. I assume.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Would we be suitable conduits? I don't think.
I mean, if we're like, oh, we're here for friends. This particular front, I mean, we could try it.
A lot of avatars really like that, here for a friend stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you called me the daughter or a daughter of Delalore, that might change things because Mira clearly really loves Meme. And she keeps going to her to help stitch up the world. So, and technically, Mira's my creator. So, I don't know a lot about this avatar stuff, but if I had to venture a guess, they don't really do stuff like that. So I feel like I shouldn't have to spend years trying to build up this connection. And I also didn't know that the avatars really existed for the most part until a couple weeks ago. Because that's not something my May taught me about yet.
Aheerah, do you want to keep your, story secret? Because if you're comfortable with telling other people about who you are and how you came to be, we could find a temple of Mira and start asking questions. But if you want to keep that secret, then that wouldn't be an option.
I don't know. My May always told me to keep it a secret, and the people in my town didn't really respond well. They thought I was different, and they don't even know the story of each other. So I sent on my stitching, and then people don't usually respond well to what I am.
Well, there's no shame in it, but I think Delalore was right. I think if certain wrong people learned that avatars can create life in this way and they can get their hands on... I just don't want anyone treating you like an object. You're a person. I'll see what I can do. I have a sort of... I might be able to get some answers. What exactly would you ask, Mira, if you could?
I would like to know if my Maymay okay, if she knows that. I would like to know if she knows where I can find her. And if she doesn't know any of that, I would just like to know me. I might have a sister who might be a lot older than I thought she was. And I'd like to know the truth.
Okay, so just let me write this down quick. That's a lot more than I can remember. And Archie's just gonna pull out a notebook real quick. Okay, is May/Delalore okay? Any family? The truth? And there was something else.
If she knows anything about how I can, or where I can find Maymay or Delalore, I should start calling her Delalore to y'all, shouldn't I?
Well, that's entirely up to you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go see if we can find something in the Dugout West in the meantime.
Can we just go in there?
Question for the GM. Are there delves in the Dugout West? And where exactly is it? I'm imagining it's like this second delver's nest further in it, like in a different place in this fissure.
Sure. So, to your first question, yes, there are lots of delves in the Dugout West, as it was the kind of original base camp. It was where they first discovered that there was a civilization in the ice, and it was first carved out and revealed part of a marketplace that used to be there in your time. And since then has become a marketplace yet again. Several modern day merchants setting up stalls and kind of waypoints for delvers to resupply and head back into the delves deeper in. Now, the dugouts are literally that. They are parts of the canyon wall carved out. The dugout east is a lot smaller and less used. The dugout west is a lot bigger and more frequented by delvers and merchants and such. So crossing, it's a simple cross from the Delver's Nest to one of its periphery platforms, and then across yet another bridge to kind of a landing where supplies and crates and such are set up. And beyond that is the marketplace. And from there, past several of the stone buildings that have been etched out from the ice, tunnels head various ways deeper into the ice.
Any ideas on how we can get paid to go deeper into the Dugout West?
We can't clash with any warrants that are already there, as we've learned. Well, I wonder if researchers are needed. We are looking for a living creature.
Well, you do have options. You could ask around, just kind of see if anybody needs anything in particular. You could talk to any of your contacts, such as Collector Hessedin, to see if there are any important digs, things like that. Really, the floor is open.
Let's see if there's any digs that need protection or scouting missions in areas where the lightspinners are known to be. That's why Delalore went there, to go to the lightspinners.
Sounds like a good plan.
I agree.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a gather, a diplomacy check. Anybody who's asking around for information.
I don't think you guys want me to, so.
This is Finn's bread and butter.
Hold on, I will actually take the camera. That is a 20 plus 6.
A natural 20?
Yeah.
Nice. Fantastic. So it takes you minutes after getting into the Dugout West to identify an individual who seems worried. Like, they're talking to a couple of individuals that are heavily armed, but it doesn't seem like the deal is going well. And the armed individuals just kind of shake their heads and head off, and the gentleman elf is left standing there, just got to find this. I've got to find something.
I don't mean to. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. You look like you could use a hand.
He kind of peers down at you, like being this tall elf versus this small little blue-haired gnome. I'm really sorry, but I don't think that you're going to be able to help. You don't seem very handy. Just for this particular situation, I'm not saying that you're not capable. Just, I don't think that you can help with this particular situation.
Well, that depends. I come with a team.
Oh? What team is that? Oh, hello. Well, a couple of you look armed, I suppose. And he's eyeing the giant needle. And Aheerah is back. Takes particular interest in Zara, though, and the armed dwarf. Well, I've kind of run out of options, so look, I sent a team of delvers in a couple of days ago, and they haven't reported back, and there have been rumors of cannibals, or creatures that have very gnashing teeth and lots of claws and want to murder anyone who comes near. And I'm afraid my team may have run afoul of them. And it is very important that that this dig must go forward because, it's important. Just gonna say that it's important. I'm looking for someone who might be able to go and see if my team is okay and get them to report back. And yeah.
Sounds doable. What do they look like?
Really? Oh, well, it was 5 individuals. They, how to distinguish them? Well, they had a warrant for the dig site, of course. Because everything is aboard. I'm not trying to trespass on anybody's claims, certainly. And I believe they all had red sashes. Yes, they wanted to set themselves apart, and wore these really bright red sashes. I can give you the location, of course, and you're doing me a huge favor, a huge service, and I will make sure to compensate you if I can.
I'm sure we can work out an arrangement.
Oh, good. Yes, of course. We can work something out.
And Finn's just gonna look at the others and.
Can I just get a general vibe check on him just to be like, yeah, he is gonna pay us when we come back, right?
Check.
I don't know what you want me to roll for the vibe check, but just trying to, because like I mean insight checks are so bleh, but like I guess does it seem like he's just frantic about, losing this team, or does he also seem like maybe kind of frantic because he's also not going to pay us?
This is the panic of someone who has a lot to lose.
Okay.
Potentially everything. And usually when someone is experiencing that bit of panic, that means that whatever they had was put into this venture. So it really depends on the outcome and the fate of the team that they sent out.
I'll kind of look at him. We'll bring them back. Easy enough, and I'll kind of point at the rest of the group and just be like, come on, look at them,
Oh, thank
But
you.
if we find some things down there, within reason, we'll take one or two things.
You mean as payment?
Mm-hmm. Just consider it insurance. And you can
Collateral, yes. I get the concept. But how will I know what you may have taken?
Well, Finn here, and I'll point to Finn, is our lovely little note taker. And
everything must be reported and above board.
Give me a diplomacy.
Oh God, me or Finn?
You.
Oh no. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I have it. Let me see if I have it. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna use these dice because they always seem to mess me up. Okay.
Can I help with the diplomacy?
Finn can aid, mostly because Zara indicated him or her specifically.
So by aid, what would that be exactly?
So Finn, go ahead and roll diplomacy as well.
Because I got a 13 diplomacy.
Total?
Oof.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Diplomacy 13 total.
Hey!
All right.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, I suppose I am a little desperate. Perhaps we can negotiate a little bit when you return, and I can see what items you wish to take as compensation.
I'll look at the rest of the group just to see if they're cool with that.
Archie nods.
Seems fair.
He takes like a visibly like sigh of relief and shakes your hands. Thank you. All right. And he unrolls a scroll, a map, showing some of the tunnels of the Dugout West. I sent them to this dig site past these mine shafts. So, do be careful though. I certainly don't want to be responsible for losing yet another team.
I'll clap him on the back. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Very well. I shall endeavor to camp out here and hope for your swift return.
We'll be back.
Thank you. On the map, by some miracle, or maybe divine intervention, who knows? Finn, you will note that There, in some of the caverns and such that are depicted on the map, there are some very close to that site that would be ideal layers for light spinners.
Sweet.
Very good. All right. So, where are you going from here?
Well,
And do you need to gather any equipment or?
we spent the last couple weeks gathering equipment.
Do we need to run by the cartographer?
Well, we've got our map. And we've got too much rope still.
And we're not an official delve, right? So we probably shouldn't go to the cartographer.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a metagaming. I shouldn't have said that. Aheerah wouldn't have the forethought.
Well, this
Sorry.
isn't as official, though, so we probably shouldn't go to the cartographer.
If we're saving their lives, I think they'll let us through.
I hope so.
I don't know how this stuff works.
Well, Finn, you would have been exposed to a little bit of the goings on as you were working for the collector over the last couple of weeks. You're not going to claim a site, so therefore you don't need a site warrant. And getting the cartographer to provide maps of the area would be expensive without a warrant. The warrant kind of assumes that you've paid into the find already.
Makes sense. Well, do we have decent navigational skills as a group?
If you're holding the map, I think so.
We can just leave the rope behind us.
Yes, breadcrumbs, I love it.
Then I suppose we're set. We probably shouldn't be too loud, but with the negotiation, we may be able to find something on the way.
Actually, I think I'm going to take Zara's idea to heart. And Archie is going to reach over the rope strapped on the side of his back, his pack, and like sort of unravel it a little bit at the tip and start cutting off like chunks of it to leave behind like breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do have a
That's me, the
ton of
player.
All right. So following the map and laying out your trail, you delve into the tunnels beyond Dugout West. The first, I'd say the first mile or two, it's actually pretty populated. There's miners and other delvers who are working on carving out gipsy structures out of the ice and stone. But the further you go, the less populated, the less maintained. The tunnels maybe once braced, but the braces are falling apart or haven't been upkept. The occasional rusted pickaxe or other forgotten tool lays discarded along the route. So by the time that you reach the designated spot on the map, signs of life have diminished almost completely. In fact, there is an eerie silence that pervades these tunnels and chambers, broken only by the occasional howling of a gale rushing through the tunnels. And I think that is where we are going to go ahead and take our break for, I'll say, 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. We'll come back at 35 after, and we will resume and find out what fate befell the Delve team before.
Building your
So we will be right back. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us after our very short break. As our team of delvers heads into the Facite to discover the fate of a team sent before them. The icy tunnel opens ahead, and a large chamber looms ahead. The floor is a clearer ice, possibly water that had thawed and refrozen quite recently, actually. You can tell by how a line of carts and cargo had sunk into the ice and been frozen. Held within its icy grip. The cargo is scattered about haphazardly. The carts are in a line, denoting that they were either traveling at the time that they stopped, but now lay still in the ice beneath your feet.
I'd like to try to figure out what happened here. Any indication of what or who attacked, from what direction, and maybe how long ago?
Yeah, and I kind of want to be doing the same thing, so if I can maybe help Archie with that.
Sure. I will need survival checks, please. Survival or nature?
Mhm.
Oh no.
13.
5.
You could try.
They went that way.
Well, they were obviously coming from this way and going that way, so...
So true.
So obviously the correct way is that way. Yeah, Archie, your perception of this scene is weirdly skewed. Maybe it's how the equipment and cargo has been encased in ice, and there's a little bit of PTSD regarding being encased in ice, and it's a little distracting. So your mind wanders more than it focuses on the task at hand. Zara, you had a 13? Okay. You can't tell exactly what happened here, mostly because of the thaw and refreeze. There's no tracks to follow. However, the way the cargo is strewn out, it definitely denotes a struggle, a fight that encompassed the entire line of wagons.
Okay.
I'd also like to give it a shot. And I rolled, and I got a 19. You
For
know, not
survival?
bad, like darkest circle. Yeah, we're nature. I haven't seen fires of either of them, so it's just a straight 19.
You two get that impression that a fight happened here. However, you also note that there is a ring of stones off to one side that may have been used for a campfire. So it's possible that the team had stopped here to make camp for a little bit before moving on. And further, some of the cargo that is sticking up out of the ice has jagged teeth marks that have ripped pieces of the wood away.
I don't like it here.
There's something bit those boxes. There's like tooth marks and stuff.
Say to light the lantern because I don't see this.
Archie will pick up a stray rock, or better yet, take out one of his daggers and cast light on it.
Okay.
Bright light 20 feet, dim light 20 feet beyond that.
Nice.
Are we supposed to be seeing anything on Roll 20? Because I can't see anything.
You should, yes.
It
Hold
could
on.
be
Yeah,
my
no,
internet.
your token's vision was turned off for some stupid reason. Even though
Okay.
I've changed that a couple of times.
I assumed Finn was blind. It is dark and I can't see.
All right, there you go. You should be able to see now. And we can assume that you had already set up light sources. I didn't think that you were walking through
Right.
tunnels in the dark.
We're just all fumbling through.
Yeah.
I mean, I have dark vision, so.
Here.
Yeah.
I still don't see anything, but I don't know if that's on my end now, because things have not been working for me tonight.
Make sure you're
I can
still
reload the
proper
page.
token. Nope, you're fine. It's just
There we go.
there you go.
I can see now.
Technology.
Roll 20 has some
Persistent
Right.
issues.
yeah. And if I hadn't invested so much in it already, I might have moved on to something else.
Big mood.
Though they have added windows and doors to the dynamic lighting, which is kind of nice.
I noticed that. It's cool.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm excited to use that more. Normally I was just taking these little light barriers and having to move them around.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, you should be able to see now.
I'm considering. I think it would be a perception, but I would say that Delalore is still technically one of my cases. Pursue a lead on maybe like the teeth marks or something.
Okay. On that, I will need a religion.
the
These
plus
are the-
one yet?
What's that?
Since I'm pursuing a lead, do I get the plus one now or later?
Is one of you, well, your pursuant of a lead currently is for Delalore, and this is unfortunately unrelated, but I think you can have two leads or two cases.
Two
So
active.
if you make this one your second lead or second case, then yes, you can use your pursue a lead.
Okay, I'll do that and designate this as my second thing.
Trying to find the team is your second case. Yeah.
10.
10. They don't seem to be animal, but they seem too sharp to be purely mortal. Like, even for goblin standards.
Idea. Looks dangerous.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever did this is big and strong. Well, we'll,
Kind of things live in these ice cave places. We could maybe start narrowing down what it could be. I don't know what lives down here.
well, the only threats I know of would be the shaded algip and the lightspinners, which are supposedly spider creatures, and those look like almost human bites, right, Finn?
But also not. Too strong. But I couldn't give you. That's all I got.
Maybe something like mutated?
Ooh, I don't like that. I really hope you're not right.
Yeah, me too.
Without
Without
heading along the sides of the cavern, the only other exit that you see is following the line of wagons.
Can I cast Detect Magic on the area, particularly the boxes that have been bitten?
Sure. Well, I mean, mostly you just kind of color your vision to see magical auras. And as you're poking around, focusing on some of the cargo, there is a faint trace of necromancy. It's like almost like a scent that is lingering around the crates, specifically around the bites. It's not a full aura, like it's not like a magical item, or maybe even not even a spell, but something associated with necromancy.
But I know what necromancy is.
Yeah. In your studies of the arcane arts, you do know of the magic of undeath and unlife.
There seems to be some. It's really faint, I think, because these bites aren't very new. there seems to be there's like an aura of necromancy where the bite marks are.
Oh.
I don't know what that means, but I do detect some necromancy.
I really don't like that.
So mutated zombies now? Oh.
I
Well,
really couldn't say.
we have the option to go forward. We have the option to go back.
Did he say they were gone? Few
Couple
days?
days?
Few days. Winter.
Okay.
Well, we said we would find them or find what happened to them, so I suppose we should move forward for that worried elf.
I agree. GM, as we pass this little shoot off, I'm gonna glance down there, see what I can see, if anything.
Sure. Seems empty. The shadows are relatively still, especially in the light of your spell.
Alright, well, at least we know what we're looking for. I wish Serana was with us. The only reason we survived last time was her warning.
You're right.
Well,
Let's all just keep our eyes peeled.
I'm gonna pull my needle spear off of my back and kind of just
Yeah.
hold it, not like poised, but kind of fluffy up, like can use it if needed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and cast mage armor on myself. And just like my entire sort of outfit will just go like this purplish blue color.
My knife.
All right. So collectively, the group begins to inch forward, weapons at the ready, as you peer down the side tunnels into adjacent chambers, looking for any sign of the group. Specifically, the group as a whole gets kind of ahead of, or is just slightly ahead of Archie. When the darkness decides to reach out and touch someone. Archie, what is your AC?
No. Oh no.
16.
Okay. Let's have my stat flex up. Yeah. Out of nowhere, long-fingered hand snatches out, wraps around your throat, and yanks you off your feet.
And the rest of you hear the highest pitched little girl scream just gets cut off.
Actually, if everybody can roll me perception checks to see if you heard anything at all.
Oh god.
You're gonna take 8 points of damage, and you are currently grabbed and are being strangled.
Okay, it's okay.
23?
Everything's okay.
What's that?
23, 15 plus 8.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And
I
9
don't
and
notice it.
okay. Finn, you hear the strangled yelp and turn to just as you see Archie's legs kick out of view. The object of light is dropped on the floor. And in its furthest shadows, just barely illuminated, you can see something crouched, like clinging to the wall and essentially lynching Archie. I need initiatives, please.
Okay. What are we using for initiative?
Perception, please.
Okay.
I rolled appropriately low.
Oh.
Okay, let me.
No, it's not too bad. All right.
Of course,
Boy, oh boy.
anything to write with.
Rolled a 15 again, so 23, I guess.
You have really high perception. Nice.
All right. Let's see what we've got. We've got Aheerah, what's yours?
16.
Archie.
9.
Finn?
23, if that's perception.
Mm-hmm. And Zara.
Mine is 16. Keep twinning with everybody today.
Well, not for us.
Well, your attackers have rolled higher.
Oh.
What?
So, let's see. Archie, the one holding you, its thick, tentacle-like fingers squeeze your throat, and you feel the air cut off. Take another 9 points of damage. And it begins to crawl up the wall, dragging you with it up into a darker corner away from the party. Hold on a second. So you are now about 20 feet up. Simultaneously, Aheerah, what is your AC?
Oh no.
What is my AC? 18.
A similarly tentacled hand lashes out from behind you and locks around your throat, dragging you to a nearby pillar of ice. Take 9 points of damage, and you are grabbed and are being strangled. All right, that is their go. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, that's only one action for that one. So, Aheerah, you're going to take another 5, and that will be their turn. As it just like closes harder on your stitches there. All right, next we have Finn.
Does this count as the subject of a lead?
Potentially. The subject of a lead to find the missing team, yes.
Apparently, well, if I'm aware, I have to be aware that if I devise a stratagem and it's a lead, it's a free action. Does she know?
Not specifically.
Okay. And Aheerah hasn't climbed up the wall yet.
No, it has not.
Okay, so I'm gonna devise a stratagem on that one because I can't throw.
Okay.
Sorry, Archie. It's a flat 8. Do I add to that?
So devising a stratagem kind of sets what your role is. So when you go to apply that, you'll have an 8 plus your intelligence modifier plus any other bonuses.
My hit bonus.
Yes.
I think that'll work.
Okay.
So I'm going to do, looking at 3 pages at once. Ooh, can I get? I can get over there. And I'm gonna try to stab it if I can. If it's out of reach, I'm gonna throw.
Okay. It's off the ground. It's kind of like perched on the pillar, but it is low enough that you can try and score a hit at it.
Okay. And do I get strategic strike on this? If I had intelligence, okay. So that's gonna be 12, 17, I think? No. Sorry, does my hit bonus include intelligence or no?
It does. No, not normally it doesn't.
Not normally. Okay, so that's gonna be 8, 12, 17.
17. The creature kind of steps up. Its tentacle like toes or feet relatching and moving out of the way of your swing.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Zara, Aheerah, what are your perception scores or perception and bonuses?
Mine's a 6.
6. Okay. Aheerah, you get to go next.
Okay. What can I do since I'm grabbed?
So
what
you
What
can
can I not do?
you you can attack while you are grabbed. It's keeping you from casting any spells with verbal components currently. You can attempt to break out of the grapple using an athletics check.
Okay. Okay,
And you're flat-footed and immobilized, so you can't move while you're grabbed.
Yeah. Why do all my spells? That's bullshit. Okay. I can't really do anything.
Some
Sorry, I'm
options.
trying to
You can
figure
again
out what
attempt to
I
break
should
out of the
do.
grapple. You can.
I know, I'm just trying to see if there's any other option that would actually help.
How many actions is it to attempt to break the grapple?
It's one.
Oh, cool. So we can try 3 times if we need to.
You absolutely can.
Can I do anything with my needle spear?
You can attack. Yeah.
I guess. No, I'll try and break free, I guess. So,
Okay.
what do I roll for that?
I need an athletics check for you.
An athletics check. Wait. Come. Oh, yep. No, got this. Wait, I can do math. Yeah, that's a 7.
7.
I rolled a 2.
You are not able to wrest yourself free of the creature's grasp.
How big of a deficit of it is it to take to try again? How many? Because you lose a certain amount. You have to take a.
If it were an attack action, but that doesn't apply here.
Oh, so I can just try 3 times total.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna roll again. Still not good. It's 11 and 11. I don't think that's gonna do it either.
That is, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, I apologize. So, with a critical failure, like yours was, you can't
There's a critical failure?
Yeah, there is. You cannot.
No, I said it was a critical failure.
Yes, it
I didn't
was.
know it was a critical failure.
It was under 10 of the DC. You can't attempt to escape until your next turn. So, you can use those 2 actions for something else. Oh, and it is considered an attack as well, so that does apply a multi-attack penalty.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Shit. I don't know.
You can attempt to stab it. It's going to be at a minus 5 now.
That's bullshit. I guess I'll try and do that.
Okay. So take your normal bonus, but minus 5. Bonus to attack.
How do I? And I'm. What do I roll for that?
Roll your
D20.
D20. Yep.
Okay. Nope.
Okay.
I don't think so. What's the bonus? What do you get for a bonus, if anything? What does it say?
It's listed under your weapon in your attacks. Left-hand side of your character sheet, first page.
I'm not seeing that information. It doesn't matter, really, because I rolled a 5.
So if you scroll down under melee strikes,
No, I'm looking at the needle spear. I just can't.
Under attack, it says T plus 5. Alright, I'll let you find it. We'll move on. Zara.
Okay. So I would like to head towards Archie, please. Let's see. Okay, that's where I can get. Mark that on my sheet. Oh lord. Yes, I could get right there. So, is Archie like kind of up in the air at this point? Or
yes.
okay.
Feet kicking furiously.
Am I where I would I have to move over one so I could climb up where I am on the map? Sorry, I just want to double check before I do anything.
So Archie is about 20 feet up, as is the creature.
Okay.
So you'll either have to climb up to strike it, or you'll have to use a long range attack.
Yes, I would like to climb if I can.
Okay.
Please, because I actually took a skill feat called Combat Climber.
Look at
Nice.
you.
Oh.
I was like, you know what? We're in this like little, you know, I don't even know how to describe it right now. My brain's everywhere, but like almost like a little sort of, you know, valley kind of thing. And I was like, you know, actually, let's try this thing. And then lo and behold,
Archie got grabbed and is now in the air where you can climb
I know. I
to.
was like, dang,
I might
things
not
worked out
die
when I just
now.
did cool stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So,
But-
and what is that? What bonus does that give you?
So it just says your techniques allow you to fight as you climb. You're not flat-footed while climbing and can climb with a hand occupied. You must still use another hand and both legs to climb.
Oh, nice. So essentially, you don't receive any penalty for carrying a sword, and you can maneuver on rocks. So go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Okay. It's gonna go great. It's gonna go great. Oh. Oof.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry, Archie. That's a 1 for a total of 9.
It's fine.
I mean, it's not a. Well, it is actually a critical failure with 1. Zara, you go to leap up to kind of do a leap and grab to gain some height, but the barrel that you try to leap off of collapses under your foot, and you fall prone.
Okay.
So that's one action.
Yeah, so the movement over there was an action, correct? And then the climb attempt was an action.
I was including that all as one.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you.
Sure. I'm
What
not
will
trying to kill you. Yeah.
yeah, that comes later. What will it take to stand up from prone? Like, is that a full action?
Yes.
Okay. I will go ahead and do that then. Would I be able to try again to climb?
Yes. Yep.
I'd like to do that, please. Another
Alright.
athletics check.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not gonna use that dice. I'm scared of it now. Okay, come on. Okay, that's an 18.
That's much better.
Yay!
You find a good solid rock to put your meaty fingers on, and pull yourself up onto the wall, easily scaling up to the level of the creature. This creature has rubbery black, grayish skin and big bulbous eyes. Its limbs unnaturally gangly and long kind of tentacle-ish fingers at it is holding your friend with. That is your turn. So, Archie. And you can also use acrobatics to try and escape as well. I will say that as well.
Okay, first thing Archie's going to do is cast the one spell that doesn't require him to speak. And that is Sanctuary. So it needs to make a will save in order to hit me.
Okay. What is the will DC on that?
My spell DC is 16.
16? Okay. Alright, when it comes its turn, if it tries to go further damage you, it will.
And then, so I'll mark that spell slot, and then I'm going to try to escape.
Okay. Go ahead and make your athletics or acrobatics.
Well, seeing as athletics is my only negative skill, I'll go with acrobatics.
Alright, sure.
12.
That does not do it. And it's not a critical failure, but you just cannot wiggle free of this creature's hold.
Alright, well, I'm gonna try again with my last action.
Okay.
9.
That one is a critical failure, but it's not going to matter because that is
right.
the end of your turn. And you were just dangling like a fish. What is your constitution? What is your constitution? Score?
My constitution score is 16. The modifier is 3. My fortitude is 7.
So you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 5 plus your constitution modifier.
Okay.
So once you reach the end of that, you will start losing consciousness. Yeah.
One round of 8 is done.
Yes. All right. Back up to the top with the creatures. Make a will save.
Oh, wait. Before, can I undo something? Because I completely forgot about hero points.
Sure.
Can I use those for that crit fail after the fact? I'm still unclear on how your hero points work.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay. Uh, 15.
All right. That is still not enough, unfortunately.
Okay. Was worth a shot.
Yep. For your... Yeah. For your information, for everybody's information, hero points you can spend in one of two ways. You can spend 1 hero point to re-roll a check and must use the second result. This is a fortune effect, which means that you can't use more than 1 point on a check. Or you can spend all your hero points to avoid death. And if we have to get into that, we certainly will. All right, well, this creature rolled a natural 1 on its will save.
Yay!
So while it is still suffocating you, it is not squeezing, causing you more damage. And it's almost forgotten about you as it lashes out at Zara, who is coming up to fight it. And it is...
Oh, wow.
First attack is a 18.
That will miss because I have mage armor up.
All right.
Nice.
Very nice.
I have it on a sticky note what my AC is.
And its second swipe, it's like trying to bat you away. Just completely whips. Over on the other side, Aheerah, take 14 damage.
So that's all of them.
So you're down to 0?
Left. So,
Oh. So you're
unless I did math wrong.
you're down at
But-
0?
Yes, if that was 14, because
Mhm.
No.
yeah, 9 plus 5 is 14, right?
Yeah.
26 minus 14 is 12.
All right,
Yeah.
so you are dying. Finn, you watch as Aheerah like struggles for a moment longer. You hear it, and Aheerah goes limp. Let's see. You are dying, and we will resolve that on your turn. Then it takes a swipe at Finn. For probably not enough. 7.
Doesn't hit.
Okay. All right. Finn, you're up.
So, Aheerah is still grappled.
Mm-hmm.
I have no strength, so I don't know if I could try to, like, grab her.
You can. I will need a athletics.
I think we're gonna devise a stratagem instead.
Hey, there you go.
I'm tiny.
There you go.
Ah, that's worse.
Oh no.
The 3.
Arrow points.
Yeah, okay. Do those reset at any point, or?
Yes, they do. Like they're kind of rewards once you finish quests and stuff, and I can. You guys are up at 2. Everybody.
I'll spend it.
Go for it. So if you want to re-roll your stratagem,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not letting you die. Oh!
Thank you.
Ha! This is 20. So
Yes, that's better.
How are you like?
So since this is going to apply to your athletics check, plus intelligence, why don't you describe what you do to pry Aheerah loose?
I don't think I can use that on a check. I thought it was an attack.
Nope, any check.
Okay.
Oh, you mean your stratagem?
Yeah, stratagem applies to attacks. I can think of something. I can go for the wrist.
I'm gonna allow it.
What I'm
I
thinking
love those
is
words.
If
Allow it.
the creature's still within my reach, with a 20 plus 4 plus like 5 for my dagger, but I call a shot and go for like the arms of this creature and try to cut her free.
Ooh, sure. Why not?
And that's 20.
Because
That's
it's actually considered a critical hit, yes. And if I could figure out what I did with my critical attack cards, which I don't seem to have at this
that's
moment.
right.
So, yeah. Oh, they're there.
Because I also add strategic strike to this.
So, since you devised a stratagem, you get to choose the outcome of this critical hit. So, say double damage plus you're calling a shot to a wrist. So maybe cutting the hand that squeezes.
Yeah. It'll be.
Will you cut the hand that squeezes?
It'll be 1d4 minus 1 times 2 plus 1d6. You're stealing Flynn's die. Get in here. Okay. Do I just roll? Roll 2 or
roll
just
once,
times?
and then double.
Okay, never mind. I don't need that. It's on the floor. Okay. That's a 3, and then I have a d6. Okay. 3 minus 1, 2, 4, 7.
7? Okay. Doubled, right?
No, the 3 minus 1 is 2, 4. Plus 3.
Oh. The 3 is also doubled, so.
My strategic strike doubles?
Yeah.
So that would be 1, 2, 5 times 2? No. Yeah?
So, yeah, 5 times
10?
2. So 10.
Math is hard.
It is.
Math is hard.
You jam your dagger into its rubbery arm, its limb, and give it a nice thrusting twist, using the pillar as a little bit of leverage to put some extra force into it. The tentacly fingers go limp and detach from Aheerah, who slumps at the base of the stalactite. The creature hisses in pain, clutching its shredded limb. And was that your whole action?
I devised an attack, so I think I get one more.
Okay.
I can't drag her, so I think I'm gonna try to get in front of her. If I can, I'm gonna drop my backpack.
Do you have battle medic? Or the like the combat medicine?
I don't. I have shared stratagem, but I don't. I could indicate to Zara as my chosen ally, but I don't think Zara would be able to get over in time.
Okay, no worries. Alrighty. Well, so what did you want to do with your last action? I apologize.
I mean, I'm already standing there, just kind of like try to throw my backpack down.
Okay.
'Cause I can't get to my healer's tools.
Sure. All right. Aheerah, death has come for you.
Yeah.
That is. So you are unconscious, and dying has a value. So currently you are dying 1, and you must attempt a recovery check. The recovery check is a flat 1d20, no bonuses, and you have to beat an 11 to stabilize.
Okay.
Good vibes only. Good vibes only.
Best vibes.
Oh no.
What is it?
It's a 7.
Okay. So you've increased to dying 2. If you reach dying
And
4,
I know how many.
you're dead.
Can't kill Aheerah this early in the campaign.
Well, you've got friends who can help if they... Yeah.
If they can get to me and
No. But you're not being strangled any further, so that's good.
Heck yeah.
except that I'm still dying. So.
All right, Zara. Zara, you're up.
Okay. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work. So I'm gonna go piece by piece.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. How far away is this creature? Like, from where I am on the side of this cavern, where is the thing?
It is about 10 feet above you.
Okay. So in that case, what I would like to do is I would like to go ahead. Hold on, actually, I need to double check that I read this correctly. Nope, that's incorrect. Okay. So if I can, okay, we're gonna rework this then. I would like to go ahead and climb up to it if I can, like basically right next to it.
Okay.
Do you need another athletics check for that?
Yes.
Okay. That is a, how do I do math? Okay, 19.
That's fine. So you climb up within striking range.
Okay, perfect. So now what I would like to do next is I would like to leap onto its back. If I can.
So you're trying to grapple it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can leap up to 10 feet horizontally if your speed is at least 15 feet, or up to 15 feet horizontally if your speed is at least 30 feet. You land in the space where your leap ends, meaning you can typically clear a 5-foot gap. Yes, so if I can.
So you don't, you won't need to like leap per
Okay.
se.
Okay.
Yeah, you just, you're close enough that you can, kind of jump and grab at it.
Perfect.
So
yes, I would like to grapple it if possible.
I need a athletics check.
Okay. Okay.
A second one. A different one.
Okay. Here. Okay. That is. Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That works. You leap off the rock and throw your arm around its neck and put it into kind of a chokehold.
Okay. I don't see on here, sorry, I was trying to Google and figure out how, if I'm just like attacking with say a dagger, how many actions would that take? Is that 2?
So far you've used 2.
Right, and so if I was gonna use a dagger to like slice at this guy,
that's just one more action. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I would like to do that then.
Okay, go for it. Roll your attack.
And I guess if I can't, no, I'll just try and stab him. Ooh, I would like to spend a hero point, please.
Okay, go for it.
Please don't fail me now. Okay, that is an 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
Perfect, okay. Okay, 1d4 plus 4 piercing. That is 6 piercing.
6 piercing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to imagine Zara is just on the back, just going. Like if you've seen Birds of Prey with Harley, whenever she's like completely motionless and she's just like stabbing the guy or whatever, that's the vibe.
Yep. Alrighty. As you've got it in the hold, you're bringing the dagger in and jamming it into the creature's side. And and I'm dropping everything. That's fun. All right. And you draw out some greenish black blood from the creature as you open up a wound. And Archie.
Well, with Sanctuary still up, I'm going to attempt to escape again.
Okay. Give me your acrobatics.
Crit fail.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
It has locked its fingers around you, especially now that it's being grappled and it's holding on to its food, but not bearing down any further.
I already have my one non-verbal spell active. I do have combat medicine, or whatever the feat is called. But healing yourself, there's a penalty, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, in that case, I will battle medicine and treat wounds on myself.
I need you to roll me a d20. Because this is kind of a manipulation action, and you have to beat a flat 5 to...
I got
be
a
able to
flat
roll.
5.
Then you're okay.
Okay. Oh, wow, toeing the line here.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
begin patching yourself up, even as you're still, turning blue from being suffocated.
Or I like we could flavor it like I actually get a little bit of a breath or something. Or I pull out medicine and pop a small pill and try to swallow it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to swallow anything, but
Yeah.
maybe like a quick squirt from, actually, it's a little medicine, like vitamin ball, that you like shove into your throat to keep the fingers from completely crushing your larynx. Yeah.
Okay. I can work with that.
And it's going to dissolve, so it will,
Go away eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to make a DC 15 medicine check.
Yes.
And my medicine is pretty good. And I got a 15.
All right.
Wow. I'm only
Barely,
rolling
but
exactly
yeah.
what I need to tonight, I guess. So
Now
I...
you're trying to treat wounds, correct?
Yeah, so I heal 2d8.
Yep.
7. And that's my turn.
You do get like a quick gulp of air as the medicine ball gets kind of lodged in your esophagus, and it pushes the fingers out a little bit, so you get that very momentary breath. It's not going to help you stop from suffocating, but at
Yeah,
least,
this is still turn 2 of suffocating.
Yeah. So, all right.
Cool.
That I believe is all your actions. Because administer or treat wounds.
No, it is one action for battle
it is one
medicine.
action.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. So you get one more then.
But I mean, I don't have any weapons out. I don't have, like, I don't know, I guess I'll reach behind and try to, like, punch the thing in where I think its face is and hope I don't hit Zara.
If you want to roll an unarmed strike, go for it.
Yeah. So I don't actually have unarmed strike written down for anything, but I'm automatically trained in it, right?
Yeah.
And it is strength, so -1.
Oh, no.
No.
That is
Okay.
that is bad. That's
All right.
a 8. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, you kind of swing and almost hit Zara.
Trying to help you.
All right, chokers. The creature fighting Newfin is going to try and make a run for it. You know, it's disabled now because of your strike, and it begins like kind of crawling its way up the pillar and away to see if it can recover at the range of your attacks. And then it kind of clumsily leaps up to the ceiling, low hanging spike, and begins to limp across the ceiling, attempting to get away. Simultaneously, the creature is going to try and break out of Zara's hold. Ooh, and critically fails.
Hey.
Yes! We needed that desperately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. That's actually the second critical fail it's had, so it's
Good.
Taking L's right and left.
It deserves the critically fail.
And it cannot attempt to escape until next turn. But that also means that it can continue to try and kill its prey. It's going to make its will save, which it succeeds. So, Archie, that 7 you just gained, you lose it again. And then it's going to take a swipe at Zara. 15.
Nope.
All right. Then it is Aheerah's turn. I need another flat check. 12 being the score to beat.
12 now?
It increases
It goes
per
up?
your dying, yeah.
Come on, you
Yeah.
got this.
Finn's turn? I thought Finn went before me.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
You're
not
right.
trying to prolong it.
No,
at all.
you're fine.
You
Finn,
know what's
it
gonna
is your
happen.
turn, yes.
But I was like, I don't think it's my turn yet.
Yeah.
One action to interact with an object, and it's 2 to try to administer first aid.
Okay, yep.
So if I can, I threw my backpack on the ground.
Mhm.
If I can grab the healer tools out and try to stabilize
Yep,
and use
go
my
for
full
it.
turn. That is,
Make a medicine check.
please. Please. Okay, 13 plus medicine is 19. I think that's all I get.
Perfect. That is just fine. You quickly, you pull out some, tubing, like cloth tubing or like some stiff stuff that you work into Aheerah's airway and start essentially the medieval version of CPR. And Aheerah, breath rushes into your doll's lungs.
Yeah.
And you are no longer dying. You are at 0 hit points. And you are no longer, you are no longer dying, but are still unconscious.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll take being unconscious instead of dying.
Fair enough. All right. All right, and now it is your turn, Aheerah, but you are unconscious. So without further intervention, you're going to stay that way for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and go over to Zara.
Okie dokie. Okay. So just a quick question for spell strike, because it says you channel a spell into a punch or sword thrust to deliver a combined attack. Could I use a dagger for that, or do I have to use a sword?
So for one, you're going to have to use one action to continue holding the grapple.
Right.
Two, you have to still have a hand free to cast the spell.
True. Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of left with limited options there.
Okay. No worries. Just wanted to check. So let me roll to hold on. I guess athletics.
No, you're fine. It wasn't
okay.
able to escape. In fact, it critically failed, so you're good.
Okay.
So you got
Okay, then I guess I'm just gonna
stab.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really have many other options, so just a little stabby stab.
Yep, go for it.
That is a 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, that's okay.
Creature's being very wiggly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll use another attack. Go ahead and take the penalty. That's fine. No, I don't want to use that dice anymore. Okay. 12.
Yep.
Okay. So I was using one action to just to hang on, correct? And then those two actions.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, then that's my turn. I'm just looking at Archie just hold on, I'm trying.
Archie. You were. That's not good.
Archie,
Sorry.
no.
My cat decided it was more important than Pathfinder.
That is true.
Cats have just been the bane of my existence today.
Archie is still grappled, still 20 feet up, still unable to breathe, correct?
Correct.
Well, gonna keep doing what I'm doing and hope I roll better on different dice.
Okay.
And I do! That's a... that's a 19 on the die plus 2 acrobatics, so 21.
Fantastic. You finally get some kind of leverage to get your boot against the wall and do kind of a spin to release yourself, twist yourself away from the creature's fingers, and you
fall 20 feet.
Plummet to the ground. You can attempt to grab an edge, which is a athletics check. No, I'm sorry. It's a reflex save.
Okay, that's better. Um, 15.
15. You manage to grab a rock that's jutting out and stop yourself from plummeting to the ground.
Okay, and Aheerah is currently stable, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Your looks like your fall. So you managed to grab a rock on the way down, which arrests your momentum and allows you to kind of tumble back all the way to the ground.
Okay. I'm going to from my back, I'm going to send a weird, like, I just say, all right, I could try to, come on, friend, I need to return the favor. And I'm going to push my hand forward towards the ceiling, and a tiny little lantern light shoots outwards towards Zara, and I'm going to cast Forbidding Ward. So you have a +1 AC and saving throws against everything that this choker will try to do to you.
Nice. Very nice. So Zara, you, as you're wrestling with this thing, this flame, this small, almost candlelight, lights upon your shoulder and spreads. Now, in your experience with fire, it's usually violent and aggressive and angry, but this is a gentle touch. This is warmth and safety and something completely different than what you've experienced before. Fantastic. The choker, still wrestling with Zara, is going to attempt to break free, and it does. It finally twists, not having something in its hand, it finally pulls itself away and purchases itself on the wall before lashing out and attempting to grab Zara.
Okay.
18. No,
Nope.
19.
Nope.
Okay, awesome.
My AC's 20!
You're kidding! That 1 point was the difference?
High five.
I love when stuff comes together like that. That's awesome. And its other second swipe is so clumsy that it knocks itself off balance and critically failed again. Finn, you're up.
So
the other one is still crawling away, attempting to escape.
Okay. And the other one's on the ground.
It's not on the ground. It's still 20 feet up, but it is off balance and barely clinging to the wall that it's attached to.
I don't think there's a lot I can do. So I'll drop, I think dropping's a free action. I'll drop the healer's tools if I haven't already. Pick my knife back up. And delay.
Okay.
I'll just kind of guard. I'm gonna stand by Aheerah and just kind of wait.
Sounds good. All right, then we go to Zara.
What about Aheerah?
Aheerah's unconscious currently, so.
Okay. Oh, right. I forgot that she wasn't on death. Got it. Okay, so I'm no longer grappling the thing. Where exactly am I in relation to the thing?
You're practically right next to it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess, let's see. Gotta look at what I have. Okay. No, I don't think I want that. Okay. I am going to go ahead and use Phase Bolt on it because since I have that climbing feat. Yep. So let me, oh god, no, wrong spell, Lord. Okay. So yes, Phase Bolt, so that's a spell attack of roll. Ooh, that is a 24.
Okay.
And then
That is a solid hit.
perfect. And then let me roll. Or just throw my dice, that works too. I don't even know where it is anymore. Okay, we're just gonna re-roll. I will find it later. So that is 5. What damage is that? Please tell me. Thank you. It doesn't tell me. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know.
I believe Phase Bolt is force.
Okay. So, 5 force then.
Okay. The creature reels back as the magical bolt strikes it. You had like jammed your dagger into the wall in order to free up your hand and cast the spell. But it is still looking pretty hardy.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's all I can do because the holding on is an action, and then this. Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Archie. Once the cat.
My cat has the worst timing.
Yep.
Okay. I'm on the ground, and it and Zara are still clinging to the wall 20 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to scramble as fast as I can to Aheerah.
Okay.
And I'm going to, she's lying on her back with her eyes closed and still breathing. Finn, what's the situation? Is she all right?
She can breathe now. I think she's good. She's just unconscious.
Here, let me see if And I'm going to use battle medicine and try to crick her neck back into place from where when the choker.
Okay.
There's like frayed threads around her neckline.
Yeah. A little bit of stuffing coming out.
Okay. Treat wounds. Come on. Here we go. Oh, what? I have a question because I don't know Pathfinder that well. What happens if she takes damage right now?
She'll resume dying.
Okay. I can fix that.
Okay.
And I'm glad I asked because that's an 8 and the DC was 15.
So it's not a critical failure.
Okay.
So I think you just failed to fix her.
All right. Yeah, nothing happens.
Okay.
Okay, that usually works. Let's and I'm
Another
gonna turn.
stitch pops, like.
Okay, done doing that.
If I delayed, is there a chance I can help?
Not substantially. Like it wouldn't improve the condition at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And instead I'm gonna use my. Wait, hold on. I moved, and movement is one action, so
Yep.
I can't.
And then administering is a second one.
Oh, and my third action is going to be to sustain the forbidding ward on Zara.
Ward. Okay. All right. Back up to the choker, who's lashing out at Zara again, and fails terribly.
Excellent.
The second attack, however,
Oh no.
is going to hit
Oh no.
for 8 damage,
Okay.
and you are grappled.
Oh.
So-
F in chat. Okay.
and it is going to squeeze as hard as it can for another 4 damage.
That's fair.
It is not.
It is not.
I've been attacking it this whole time. I mean, it's kind of fair. Just
All right,
stab the whole time.
I know we're almost at 11. I hope our audience can stick with us as we finish out this combat. Hopefully it doesn't run too much longer, but yeah, just stick with us. This is riveting stuff. I'm loving it. All right, Finn, you're up.
Can't do much, but we're gonna try anyway. So she's got the knife in hand and just kind of, well, first she runs off, just looks at Archie, protect her, and it's gonna try to run over to the wall. I think I can I reach the wall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
And you can throw your dagger.
Not more than 10 feet.
Oh, that's right. Well, it can go beyond 10 feet. There's just penalties.
I might try that because the plan was to move, attempt to climb, and throw.
Okay. Well, you can do that as well if you want to roll in athletics to climb.
What would be the penalty to try to throw farther?
It's a -2.
Look at +3. Take a chance, so that'll be movement, throw with penalty. I guess pick it back up if it lands.
Okay.
So that'll be plus. Okay, so -2, so that means the bonus is +3. Oof, that's a 9.
It's not a critical failure. But no, you do not hit. The dagger plinks off the wall and falls down next to you.
I pick it back up.
Okay.
And turn.
And throw. Yeah, pick it back up. All right, cool. Zara.
I would like to escape from the grapple, please.
Okay. Make your escape check. That's either in athletics or in acrobatics.
Okay, I'm gonna use this dice.
Poor Aheerah, all unconscious and stuff.
That is a hold on.
Pretending. I'll add something.
That's 13.
That is successful.
Okay, and I can keep doing it every time?
Yes, but you're at a -5 penalty currently.
Okay, so it's definitely plus. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
Yep. Because that is a 15.
Nope.
Oh no. What else can I do while I'm?
You can attack it, but right now you'd be
Right,
attacking
I
at a
know.
-8, actually.
So if I have a +8 to hit, but since it's -8, it would just be 0,
It'd
correct?
be a straight, yep, straight. D20.
Yeah, let's do it. Why
Yeah, do it.
not? Yeah. Come on, natural 20. Come on, natural 20.
Right here, right here.
Nope, that's a 6.
Okay.
Same thing, right? Right?
Samesies.
Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Archie.
Okay. I am going to, since my attempt to heal failed, I'm going to actually. Yeah, we could use another person in this fight, I think. I'm going to cast my focus spell, Lifelink, and a little tiny lantern appears on my shoulder, and another one appears on Aheerah's shoulder. I immediately heal the target for 1d3 or 1d4, and every time the target takes, I take the first 3 damage from any hit Aheerah takes.
Okay.
So a d4 to get you on your feet with 2.
No, it's better than nothing.
It's something.
It's significantly better than 0.
So the lanterns, the ghostly lanterns, materialize, and hers is out currently, and the little candlelight from yours travels, kind of breathes a flame over to hers, and it lights up very dimly. And as Aheerah, you find the darkness of unconsciousness wash away, and you open your eyes, and you are conscious again.
Are you back?
She's gonna sit like straight up and just be like taking really deep breaths. I'm just like, I think so.
Good. All right. And I'm going to turn, and the same lantern on my shoulder is going to suddenly glow very brightly, and a beam of light is going to shoot out towards the choker. And I'm going to cast the cantrip Divine Lance. Ranged attack versus its AC. So I get a +6 for a total of dirty 20.
Yes, that's a hit.
Nice.
And it will take a very small amount of damage of 1d4 plus my charisma modifier of... Scroll. 2. 4. So total of 6 damage.
Hey, there you go. Now it's getting looking pretty beat up as this flash of light shoots across from Archie's lantern, strikes it, and scorch mark across its ribs.
And Zara's forbidding ward is down.
Okay, good to know. Which does bring us back to the creature, who is going to try and get away with its food. So it begins crawling to the ceiling, another 10 feet, and dragging Zara with it, who takes 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Are you still conscious?
I'm still conscious, just
Wow.
barely.
All right.
I'm impressed.
Zara's a beefy
Yeah.
coral.
Yeah. All right, Finn.
Is there a penalty for trying to throw 30 feet?
Yes.
And that would be?
That would be -4.
-4. Stratagem. All right, let's go.
Now, once you have a stratagem, you can still share it, right?
If I hit, I have to.
If you hit.
I have
Oh,
to
okay.
hit. I have to hit and then designate. So
Got
please. What?
Oh no.
That's a nat 1.
Oh,
No!
Finn's just terrified.
Yeah, you fumble the dagger as you're trying to calculate angles and stuff like that, and it falls to the floor.
Okay. Was that 1 or 2 turns?
It was 1.
Okay. I'll pick it back up.
2.
Can't devise again. Could try to throw it, but that's not gonna.
Won't
That would
hurt.
be it. -4. That would be a +1 if I just take a chance on it and try.
Go for it.
We'll try. Try again. No 1, please.
no whammies.
Does 18 hit?
It does.
Yes! Come on!
Wow, that is impressive. All right, so go ahead and deal your damage.
Okay, so that is just 0.
You always do a minimum of 1, so.
So 1.
Yay!
Every bit counts.
The dagger just catches its foot and sinks in. Yeah. Hey, it's something. It's something. That was impressive.
That's a 17
Aheerah.
plus 1.
Hey, what size are the creatures? Are they
They
my
are.
size?
Or they are your size or smaller. I believe they're small.
Cool. That's awesome. I like that. Cool.
So it's up, right? Like on the
Yeah.
ceiling. Okay, so I'm gonna use. I'm assuming I can move and it'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's only 20 feet away. What is my movement? I think it's like 20, 25.
Mhm.
Where even is that? I'm gonna move 20 feet
Okay.
so I can get over to everyone else. Essentially. And I would like to use needle and thread to try, which is my new class feat that our lovely GM Winter literally created for my character. And I would like to throw my spear
Okay.
at and try and catch it essentially through the middle or something. And then I'll be magically tied to my spear and hopefully be able to make it flat-footed or something. Okay. Make a strike with a thrown weapon.
So it's gonna be your range strike.
Wait.
Left side of your character sheet, under range strikes,
There it is.
needle spear, and
Yep. I
you
see
get
that
a
now.
+6.
Cool. Just a roll with the d20 and a
Yep.
+6.
Yep.
I hate everything.
Oh,
0 point.
0 point?
Yeah, let's use a 0 point. I switched die too.
Oh, the superstitions we have.
love that. We love that.
Yeah.
That is 18 for 24.
Yes. So go ahead and
Yes.
describe what happens there.
Okay, so Aheerah takes her needle spear and sort of aims it and throws it at a javelin, so to speak. And it catches the creature straight through the middle. And as Aheerah throws it, a crackling thread of, it looks like thread that you would sew with, kind of crackling with lightning and electricity. Essentially, is tying her hand, you just let go of the spear with, to the eye of the needle spear that is now embedded in this creature. And let me go back to it. So I
go
hit
ahead
the
and deal your
target, so
damage.
it is flat-footed until the end of my current turn, and it must make a check against my athletics DC to move further.
If it's still
So-
alive.
Go ahead and make your roll your damage.
He's got me switched. I think it's a D12. D6.
It's a D6 plus
D6.
plus 1.
D6 plus 1. Yeah. Alright. Come on. 6. Nope. That'll be 2. 6 total.
2 total. So you kind of skewer it through the side, but it is pierced and is flat-footed to you, which also means that you can now make a trip attempt as a second action, or third action, actually.
Awesome.
Which is athletics.
Okay. And I have a feat that would go into that too if I'm tripping it.
And
'cause I
it's
have Titan Wrestler.
-3.
Okay. So is it essentially an athletics check, so to speak, that I'm doing? Rolling with my athletics modifier,
Yes.
D20, and then -3?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Oop. That'll be 7, I think?
7 total?
8? 7? Yeah.
Okay.
It would be 10 total minus 3. So. I
Okay.
tried.
You did.
You're
And it
doing
was
great.
a valiant effort.
It's the best I've done in combat so far.
You skewer it, and you make and the line goes taut. The magical line that you're holding goes taut. The creature stopped continuing up the wall as it pulls against your hold, and you yank at it, but you can't quite get it off the wall. So, all right, Zara.
Okay. I would like to. Wait, can I stab? Can I?
Yeah,
Okay. I would like to stab it if I can.
go for it.
What kind of? Do I take a penalty for that
No.
or no? Perfect. That is a 22.
That is a hit.
Yes.
Okay, right. That D4 is missing. I need to find that after this.
The
That
worst
is-
die to go missing.
No, that is 6 piercing.
Very nice. All right. Between Aheerah's pull and yours ramming a dagger up into its chest as it attempts to choke the life out of you and make away with you. It thrashes and is pulled away from the ceiling.
Oh, no.
And both of you tumble to the ground as it thrashes in its death throes and aims for the ice below. You can give me a reflex save to grab an edge to save from falling.
Okay. Yeah. That is. Trying to decide if I wanna. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a hero point because that
Okay.
will only be a 12. Okay. That's an 18.
Okay. You managed to arrest your fall kind of as Archie did on the way down, grabbing at some of the rocks and ice that are jutting out from the wall, and you pull away from the creature as it falls to its death, and you tumble down the side of the wall and take 1 point of damage as you get a little roughed up on your way down, but otherwise lands relatively safety at the feet of your friends, and the creatures hits the ice with a crack and a squish, and it splays out limbs, rubbery limbs, just kind of all at different angles. And we will pick this up next week.
Oh, we're alive! We're alive!
You're alive!
Barely.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Yeah, that was a rough combat. That was rough.
That last attack from Aheerah, the skewer and pin with the thread, that's so cool. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
That is a class feat that I came up with specifically for Aheerah's character, and I'm excited that she got to use it in her very first combat with it.
Me too, because I didn't think I was gonna get to. So it's very exciting to get to. Yeah, I remember when we were planning my character, Winter was like, I don't like any of the class feats for you. I'm gonna make one.
Nice.
Yeah, they just didn't really speak to, I think, Aheerah's style. So I was like, you know what? There'd be a cool one that I came up with called Needle and Thread, where she'll be able to kind of control movement of the enemies and stuff like that. And who knows? Maybe it could come into further uses later on. And I was really glad that Zara was able to use her combat climbing feat.
Yeah, just the imagery for that is super cool. Just like fighting against this thing in like the corner between the ceiling and the wall.
I have a thing where whenever I'm looking at stuff to build a character, I'm like, oh, this seems cool. And then it comes in handy. I'm like, yes.
It's a great
Better.
feeling.
And I can't wait till we can see Finn's share a stratagem really come into effect. So I hope we get to see that. And then Archie's battle medicine came in handy, so that is fantastic. And really grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Aheerah is.
Well, no, the battle medicine didn't actually help, but
no, it helped you anyway. You stayed alive.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. We did run a little late, but thank you all who stuck around and finished out this combat with us. We will see you next week at the same place, same time. You will also see me. I will be GMing over at Cybernation Uncensored. That is twitch.tv/Cybernation Uncensored. On Thursday, on Thursdays now, I am going to be GMing a Star Trek Adventures game, which has so much nostalgia for me because my dad is a huge Trekkie, and I grew up with it. So I grew up with like the original series, the Next Generation and stuff. So I'm having to dive back into that whole galaxy of lore and information. So, but you can catch me over there, and we will be back again next Monday with the Facite. Thank you all, and hope you have a wonderful week.